don't know if I've ever mentioned this or not, but I'm a Christian. I was raised and trained to be an atheist, and until the age of 24 I was. And thought I was doing it quite well, actually. But when I was 24, everything came to a head. I was a drug addict and an alcoholic, and I was just trying to have a little too much fun, I reckon, and I ended up in prison. I was there for 4 months and 4 days. Well, during the first couple of weeks, my wife had a miscarriage. And I knew it was on account of all the stress that I had induced into her life. So I felt guilty for killing my own baby. Everything's magnified in prison. If you got a ingrown toenail, it'll kill you. And heartbreaker really weigh heavy on you. Guilt. So I wanted to write Shirley a letter and tell her how sorry I was that she lost a baby, and I'd finally realized that it wasn't the economy, and it wasn't my work situation, and it wasn't the way I was raised, and it wasn't the weather, that it was me. I was the problem. Drugs and alcohol were the problem. I didn't have 13 cents to buy a stamp to write her a letter with. I tied 2 belts together. They were like these Boy Scout, Cub Scout belts, made of cotton, and they had a brass slip buckle, slide buckle, whatever you want to call it. Well, I tied them 2 belts together, and I tied it over the pipe for the sprinkler system. And I slid that noose open, put it around my neck, and I kicked that old plastic chair out from under me. And man, I realized that was a bad mistake, because it hurt a whole lot more hanging on that belt than I thought it would. And then everything went black. Well, I come to on the concrete floor. Both of my knees were black and blue and yellow and all swollen. And that belt was hanging from the sprinkler pipe. And that buckle had separated. And so I couldn't even kill myself and get that right. I was pretty bankrupt. In about every area you could look at, I was bankrupt. So I finally said, okay, God, if you're really there, if you're such a big and mighty God, I need a 13-cent stamp. And I'm going to sweeten the pot here. I'll tell you, if you can get me a 13-cent stamp, I'll read the Bible front to back. Ain't nothing going to change, but I'll read the Bible front and back. Well, next morning, the guards clanking on the gate and hollering my name, so I went downstairs and asked him what he wanted. He handed me a package. It was Sunday. Mail don't run on Sunday. I said, how am I getting mail on Sunday? He said, well, it was back there under a pile of junk. I just found it. So I got mail on Sunday. I looked at it, and it was wrapped in a grocery sack, a brown paper sack. And it had a return address on it, so I know who sent it to me. It was this lady that has always come by our house and trying to minister to Shirley and trying to cram the Bible down my throat. One night she brought over a Bible, and I said, oh, thank you so much. I was trying to get a fire started in a wood heater. I started ripping pages out of it, trying to kindle a fire. I was really mean and hateful to that lady. Well, here I was standing in a prison cell with a package from that lady. So I ripped it open, and it was a Bible. I never had mentioned in that deal with God that I didn't have a Bible. So I opened it up, and in the front cover was 10 13-cent stamps. Ugh. Well, I had my butt nailed to the wall right there. Because I said if he gave me one 13-cent stamp, I'd read the Bible front and back. He gave me 10 of them. Well, I didn't know one book of the Bible from another, but I'd always heard these fanatics saying, read the book of John, read the book of John. So I got digging around in there, and sure enough, there's the book of John, but there was about 4 of them. John 1, John 2, John 3, however many it is. So I said, this might be more difficult than I thought it would be. So I said, well, I'm going to start with just plain old John. So I did. That night I knew what I had to do. But I didn't want to do it. But I did. I said, Lord, you've shown me that you're really there. And you've shown me that you really care about me. About me. In the shape I'm in. So I said, okay, if there's anything you can do with what's left of me here, just go right on ahead and do it. Because I surrender. The unconditional surrender. Man, has life been different since then. I'm going to tell you, God's done a lot of mighty things on my behalf and in my life. And with my life. On this side of glory, I may never know how he's used me, but I know he's used me. And I know he desires to use me. When I cooperate, he's pretty good about it. It's amazing. But anyway, along the path of my journey, God's given me things. One of the things he gave me was this song right here. I hope I do it justice, because Lord knows the original artist did. In the darkness where everything is unknown, I faced the power of sin on my own. I did not know of a place I could go where I could find a way to heal my wounded soul. He said that I could come into his presence without fear, into the holy place where his mercy hovers near. I'm running to the mercy seat where Jesus is calling. He said his grace would cover me, his blood will flow freely. It will provide my healing. I'm running to the mercy seat. I'm running to the mercy seat. Are you living where hope has not been? lost in a curse of a lifetime of sin. Lovely illusions, they never come true. I know where there's a place of mercy for you. He said that you could come into His presence without fear, into the holy place where His mercy hovers near. Come running, come running, come running to the mercy seat where Jesus is calling. He said His grace will cover you, His blood will flow freely. It will provide your healing. Come running to the mercy seat. I'm running to the mercy seat. He said that you could come into His presence without fear, into this holy place where His mercy hovers near. Come running, come running, come running to the mercy seat where Jesus is calling. He said His grace will cover you, His blood will flow freely. It will provide your healing. Come running to the mercy seat. Come running to the mercy. Come running, come running, come running to the mercy seat where Jesus is calling. His grace will be your covering. His blood will flow freely. It will provide your healing. Come running to the mercy seat. I'm running to the mercy seat. I'm running to the mercy seat. Is this love? Not that we love God, but that He loved us and sent His Son to be the propitiation for our sins. Hallelujah. Whoa. I probably didn't do it justice, but love that song. God bless y'all.